under whose leadership ICAI is growing from strength to strength. Please welcome CA Aniket Sunil Talati.
Respected Rashtrapati Ji, the Chief Guest for the 75th Foundation Day, or as we call it very fondly, Chartered Accountants Day, the first citizen of India, somebody who is the pride of India, Madam Srimati Draupadi Murmu Ji, I welcome you on behalf of the Institute. And thank you so much for gracing this occasion. The guest of honor, the Honorable Union Minister of State in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Shri Rao Inderjit Singh Ji. Sir, thank you for gracing this occasion also. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs is the parent ministry for the Institute, and we function under the administrative control of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and it's wonderful to have your patronage on this historic day. The Honorable Vice President of the Institute, C. Ranjit Kumar Agarwal Ji, the immediate past President, Debashish Mitra Ji, galaxy of past presidents who are seated here, the Chairman of NIRC, Secretary ICAI, my colleagues in the Council who had the opportunity to introduce Honorable Madam with just before we entered this hall. And the Central Council truly represents mini India. We have council members from the north till all the way down in Chennai, Karnataka, Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam, from west in Gujarat, from Baroda and Ahmedabad, right up to the east in Guwahati, and all the Central Council members join in this historic celebration, so I welcome all of them. The Regional Council members in all 5 regions who are watching this program live. 168 branches, yes, that is the size of the Institute today, 168 branches across India, 80 overseas chapters and representative offices who are equally excited, Madam, to hear your address and motivation for the profession of Chartered Accountancy. To all the dignitaries who are off the dais, officials from the President's Office, from the MCA, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of honor and privilege for me to address on this momentous occasion of the 75th Foundation Day of the Institute. And yes, it's a matter of personal reflection for me, as was rightly mentioned, as my journey with the Institute, though my age is not 75, but the history which started with grandfather giving the first exam in 1949, the very first examination as it was called, happened to come all India first, served the council for 9 years, and then of course, father was the president in 2007, and today I think destiny has been truly kind to me that I got the opportunity to preside over this council, which is one of the finest councils in the history, the 25th Council of the Institute, and representing, Madam, today, close to 4 lakh chartered accountants and over 8 lakh active students. So, Madam, on behalf of the 12 lakh family of CA and CA pursuing students, thank you for gracing us. As was mentioned, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India was established in the year 1949. The Act was passed by the Constituent Assembly on 9th of April 1949. It received the assent of the Governor General on 1st of May 1949 and was constituted on 1st of July 1949 as an autonomous body to regulate the profession of chartered accountancy. Our journey has been a testament of our growth. Our presence today has expanded from, Madam, 1,600 members who joined the Institute in 1949. And by the end of the year, there were close to 2,000 students pursuing chartered accountancy. And today, what I'm delighted to mention to you, to the Honorable Guest of Honor and the entire membership, is that back then, our membership and student came from a few hundred zip codes or postal codes or PIN codes as we call them. And today, as I address you on 1st of July 2023, I am delighted to mention that we have students and members from close to 17,000 zip codes in this country, 17,000 out of the 19,000 postal codes. And Madam, therefore, this is one single profession. Because of the reach that it has across the India, every student in any part of the country can pursue his dream to become a chartered accountant. It is still very proudly, I can say, one of the most affordable professional courses in the world. And even today, when a girl or a boy qualifies and becomes a chartered accountant, the parents cry unconsolably because they know for a fact that the destiny of not just their child, but their entire family is going to change forever by getting this degree of chartered accountancy. And Honorable Madam, I'm delighted to mention to you that today we had the council meeting, and in that we have released a policy that the council is determined to implement in the next 2 years. That though we have presence in more than 300 districts of India, through our branches, regional councils, study circles, study chapters, and study groups, it is the aim and the commitment of this council that in the next 2 years, Madam, we will have a reading room facility in all 700 districts of India. That is the resolution we have taken. Madam, today in the council meeting, we have also decided that starting today, the forensic standards, the institute has been long known for accounting standards, auditing standards, ethical standards, valuation standards, which have been developed and are internationally benchmarked. But today, from 1st of July, as forensics is getting more and more important, the forensic accounting and investigation standards have been made mandatory. We have also resolved, and we are working very closely with the President of India. In one of his addresses, gave us one line by mentioning chartered accountants as partners in nation building. And I believe that is one virtue that all of us have taken to heart. And it is with this intention, Madam, that we carry out activities not just for membership and students, but we carry out a finance and tax literacy drive, Vittiya Gyan ICAI Ka Abhiyan, where we try and educate the common man about the importance of finance and tax, and especially with digital transactions and digital form of payment gaining so much traction. I believe it is incumbent upon all of us as professionals to make sure that the society and the general public are not in any way disharmed or disadvantaged by this and made a victim by some people who have some unintended causes. And therefore, because of this, we have the finance and tax literacy drive. We also, Madam, promote the MSME. And last year, as it was 75th year of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we decided that for 75 days, through 75 cities, traversing 22,000 kilometers, we ran a MSME Yatra. And I'm delighted to mention that post the Yatra, the MSME registrations, which were close to 1 crore, could reach a number of 1.6 crores. And a huge effort was made by chartered accountants in spreading awareness with regards to MSME registration. Madam, we also today focus not just on financial matters, but non-financial reporting. And as the world is looking towards sustainability, the Institute had set up the Sustainability Reporting Standards Board. And today, along with financial reporting, we are focusing on non-financial reporting and means of sustainability and going green. It was a matter of great pride for us last year to organize and host the 21st World Congress of Accountants, which was attended by more than 10,000 participants. This is a conference, Madam, which happens once in 4 years, and for the first time in 118 years, it came to India. And let me tell you, as we see the stature of India and the respect the Indian Prime Minister or any Indian delegation gets across the world increasing, it is post this World Congress that even the stature of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and every chartered accountant going abroad has risen tremendously, and we are very proud of the World Congress of Accountants, which was hosted by us. Finally, Madam, today is also going to be a historic day, because with your worthy hands and in the presence of the Honorable Minister of State for Corporate Affairs, we will launch the new course curriculum. A course curriculum a course curriculum which has been eagerly awaited, not just by membership, but by students who are pursuing this course, and more importantly, by students who are planning to enroll for chartered accountancy. Yesterday was the last day for registration of foundation, and I'm delighted to mention that the want and craving and demand for chartered accountancy is highest ever this year in any of the recent past. We have crossed all registrations of last 5 years, and the record participation and interest from students only shows the importance of this CRET. The CRET changes a lot of aspects. Madam, we are now introducing self-paced learning and online examination through the self-paced learning modules. We have a 2-year uninterrupted articleship. There's a huge focus on technology and ethics, and I'm delighted that with Board of Studies taking all the efforts over the last 2 years to make sure that this CRET could reach, I'm grateful to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs for giving their consent. And today is truly going to be an historic day when we launch this new curriculum, which will be a change agent for socio-economic change for the entire nation, and many more students from far-flung areas will be able to pursue this course of chartered accountancy. Finally, I will only say to all the members, to all the students who are pursuing chartered accountancy, for an institute, it is always nation first. And as I say, and I would request all of you to say, believe that I am the I in ICAI. शुरुआत भी आपसे, अंत भी आपसे, इंस्टीट्यूट भी आप, इंडिया भी आप. जय हिंद, जय ICAI.
Thank you very much, CA Aniket Sunil Tarathi, President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, for your inspiring words. नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 की बात करें तो वो इस बात पे बल देती है कि लर्निंग जॉयफुल होनी चाहिए, स्किल डेवलपमेंट होना चाहिए, क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं को बढ़ावा मिले, टेक्नोलॉजी को लेवरेज करें ताकि सभी विद्यार्थियों का सर्वांगीण विकास हो. और राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के इन तमाम पहलुओं को अपनाते हुए ICAI आज 75वें चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट दिवस के शुभ अवसर पर अपनी नई एजुकेशन और ट्रेनिंग स्कीम को लॉन्च कर रहा है. मैं गुजारिश करूंगा श्री राव इंद्रजीत सिंह से, माननीय केंद्रीय कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स राज्य मंत्री और साथ ही प्रेसिडेंट ICAI से, कि आप एजुकेशन और ट्रेनिंग स्कीम को लॉन्च करें. इस ब्रोशर का अनावरण करके इसकी पहली कॉपी राष्ट्रपति महोदया को भेंट करें. It truly is a momentous occasion as we're all set to launch the new education and training scheme of ICAI. As President ICAI said, we are all eagerly awaiting for this. Thank you very much, Minister, for unveiling and now presenting the first copy to the Honorable President. Congratulations. So on 1st of July 2023, the new education and training scheme of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India stands launched. All the best to all the students who have the dream to pursue the CA course. And you can see on the right-hand side of the Secretary ICAI, 2 people and their team who have worked very hard. A round of applause for the Chairman, Board of Studies Academics, CA Vishal Doshi, and CA Dayanivas Sharma, Vice Chairman, and the entire BOS. Congratulations for the launch of the new scheme. और अब मैं आग्रह करूंगा आज के समारोह के विशिष्ट अतिथि श्री राव इंद्रजीत सिंह से उनके संबोधन के लिए. मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स, मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट इंडिपेंडेंट चार्ज, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड प्रोग्राम इंप्लीमेंटेशन और साथ ही मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ प्लानिंग. आप लोकसभा के सांसद हैं गुरुग्राम हरियाणा से.
Your Excellency, Right Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, President of ICA Aniket Sunil Tarathi ji, Vice President of ICAI Ranjit Kumar Agarwal ji, past presidents, dignitaries on the dais, members of the CA fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. May I first of all congratulate all the chartered accountants and students on the 75th foundation day of this institution, which over the period of 7 decades has created a mark for itself as an institution of excellence, contributing for the financial stability and economic development of this country. It is a moment to cherish the gracious journey of 75 years of the institution. You have covered a long journey, and that is quite commendable. Today, it is also celebrated as the GST Day, for which also your institution and members of the profession need to be congratulated. Since implementation of the indirect taxation regime in India, you always remained a great enabler and facilitator and played a very effective role creating awareness about the various provisions of the new GST law, resulting in smooth implementation of GST regime and removal of all doubts amongst the taxpayers whenever required. The advancements in technology and digital transformation, like automation, artificial intelligence, and data analytics, necessitate that the profession must equip itself with the requisite skills to navigate this evolving landscape. These evolving technologies need to be taught to the students of the new age. In this direction, I am pleased to note that recognizing the needs of the digital era, new curriculum of chartered accountancy education and training that is being launched today equips the future chartered accountants with the requisite skills to embrace and adapt to these advancements. Chartered accountants are the growth engines of the financial economy of our country. To all the young CAs out there, I urge you all to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Startups, forensic, insolvency, and valuation are the new areas which have enormous opportunities in terms of employment, consultancy, and advisory services. I am pleased to know that the ICAI has taken many initiatives in these new areas of economy like certificate course, publications, website, and institutionalized the profession through formation of Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICAI, Registered Valuers Organization, and Institute of Social Auditors of India. I am sure that with all these skills and building of these skills, initiative members will provide an exemplary service to the economy. I'm happy to learn that the startup sphere has been conducted by your institute, which was conducive to the growth of startup ecosystem and provided a unique opportunity for startups to connect with the peers, industry experts, and to gain insights. I'm happy to share the Ministry of Company Affairs Government of India has launched the MCA 21 as an e-governance initiative. It enables an easy and secure access of the MCA services to the corporate entities, professionals, and citizens of India, and ensures timely and speedy compliance of the MCA 21 application and compliance. The MCA application is designed to fully automate all processes related to the proactive enforcement and compliance of the legal requirements under the Companies Act 1956 and other applicable laws. This will help the business community to meet their statutory obligations. I acknowledge the ICAI and its members who are closely associated with the implementation of MCA 21 V3 project in India. Today, our economy is bouncing back from the COVID pandemic, and it grew by 7.2% in the financial year 22-23, faster than the 7% predicted in the earlier quarter. This has happened due to the boost in construction and other industrial activities which remained dormant during the COVID era. This faster growth is also the result of MSMEs They are a major contributor to socio-economic development of the country. The MSMEs for over the past so many years have been continuously served with a large number of chartered accountants operating in every nook and corner of this country. I must say that this profession is the life of the MSMEs ecosystem in India. So my congratulations to the members of the ICAI for their contribution to this important sector too. Your profession has always been seen by the government and other stakeholders with great expectations, and you should leverage it. Once again, many, many congratulations to you all in the times to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Sri Rao Inderjeet Singh, for your guidance and best wishes, and also for unveiling the brochure on the new scheme of education and training. We now present a short video which will tell us more about the new features of this scheme.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India launches the new scheme of education and training 2023 at the hands of the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, on July 1st, the CA Day. This day also marks the start of the year-long celebrations of ICAI's 75 years of establishment. The unique features of the new scheme include ethics and technology in all core subjects at the final level, multidisciplinary subjects and specialization, redefined curriculum with 6 papers each at the intermediate and final levels, 2 years of uninterrupted practical training, experiential learning with self-paced online modules, focus on strategic decision-making for providing business solutions, emphasis on emerging technologies training, 30% MCQ-based examination at the intermediate and final levels, recognition as Business Accounting Associate, country-specific international curriculum and training. The new scheme is in alignment with the National Education Policy 2020 and international education standards. The new scheme opens the doors to international practical and industrial training and country-specific curriculum. The new CA curriculum is aimed to make future and market-ready professionals with an enhanced emphasis on soft skills and information technology training with a sandbox approach for experiential learning. The first foundation exam under the new scheme will be held in June 2024. The first intermediate and final exams under the new scheme will be held in May 2024. With the new scheme, ICAI's Chartered Accountancy curriculum is going global. Come join us as ICAI redefines Chartered Accountancy education to scale new horizons of success.
धन्यवाद। राजधानी दिल्ली के सिरीफोर्ट सभागार में आज हम सभी एकत्रित हुए हैं 75वें चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट दिवस समारोह मनाने के लिए, और अब मैं निवेदन करूंगा आज के समारोह के मुख्य अतिथि ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी से उनके आशीर्वचनों के लिए।
द इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंट्स ऑफ इंडिया की स्थापना की 75वें वर्ष का अवसर पर उपस्थित केंद्र सरकार में कॉर्पोरेट मामले के राज्य मंत्री राव इंद्रजीत सिंह जी, आईसीए के अध्यक्ष श्री अनिकेत सुनील तलाटी जी, मंच पर आसीन आईसीएआई के अन्य पदाधिकारीगण, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स, मेंबर्स ऑफ आईसीएआई, स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी कोर्स, देवियों और सज्जन। आईसीएआई के 75वें स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर आप सभी के साथ जुड़कर मुझे खुशी हो रही है। ये वास्तव में सुखद है कि आपका ये उत्सव देश की गौरवशाली यात्रा के साथ भी जुड़ा है। आप सब आज़ादी के 75 वर्ष पूरी होने के उपलक्ष्य में आयोजित आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव के दौरान ये स्थापना दिवस मना रहे हैं। ये न केवल सीए समुदाय के लिए बल्कि देश के संपूर्ण अकाउंटिंग और ऑडिटिंग पेशों के लिए एक विशेष दिन है। 75वें स्थापना दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में आपने विभिन्न आयोजन के लिए जो भारत को एक मजबूत राष्ट्र बनाने के प्रति आपकी प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है। आज जब आईसीएआई का स्थापना दिवस मनाया जा रहा है, मैं स्पष्ट रूप से आप सबको व्यवसाय क्षेत्र के एक ऐसे मजबूत स्तंभ के रूप में देखती हूँ जिससे सुशासन को बल मिलता है। आपको अर्थव्यवस्था के वास्तविक स्वास्थ्य को प्रतिबिंबित करने की एक महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी सौंपी गई है। शासन में अर्थ की एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होती है और एक अच्छी और सुदृढ़ अर्थव्यवस्था विश्वास पर निर्भर होती है। विश्वास एक ऐसा शब्द है जिसमें निहित है समर्पण, ईमानदारी, नैतिकता और कर्तव्य के लिए प्रतिबद्धता। आप सब एक कठिन शिक्षा और कड़े प्रशिक्षण के बाद चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनते हैं। मुझे बताया गया है कि देश में इस समय लगभग 3.5 लाख से ज़्यादा चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं। इसमें विशेष प्रसन्नता की इस बात है कि दिनों दिन इस व्यवसाय में महिलाओं का प्रतिशत बढ़ता जा रहा है। मुझे ये भी बताया गया है कि इस समय परीक्षा में उत्तीर्ण होने वाले चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स में महिलाओं की संख्या लगभग 42% है। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि वर्ष 2047 में जब देश आज़ादी की शताब्दी मनाएगा और आपका संस्थान भी अपने शताब्दी वर्षों के निकट होंगे, तो देश में प्रैक्टिसिंग वुमेन चार्टर्ड अकाउंट्स की संख्या 50% से अधिक होगी। आप सब भी मानेंगे कि महिलाएं सामान्यतः कुशल फाइनेंस मैनेजर या अकाउंटेंट होती है। वित्त मंत्री सुश्री निर्मला सीतारमण इसका एक उदाहरण है। जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं, भारत में घरेलू बचत की एक प्रथा है। विशेषकर महिलाओं की आदत होती है कठिन समय के लिए बचत करना। एक खुशी की बात है कि महिलाओं के लिए ICAI ने वित्तीय और कर साक्षरता अभियान शुरू किया है। अनैतिक तत्व द्वारा गरीब और भोले लोगों को बचत पर अधिक ब्याज का लालच देकर धोखा दिया जाता है। आपका अभियान उनके इस तरह की धोखाधड़ी से बचाएगा। ऐसे लोगों की बचत का संरक्षण और संवर्धन करना भी आप सबका सामाजिक दायित्व है। मेरा ध्यान ICAI के विजन 2030 के स्टेटमेंट की ओर गया। आपने इसमें कई महत्वपूर्ण बिंदुओं को उठाया है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मानक पारदर्शिता तथा नैतिकता की कसौटी पर आपने अपने व्यवसाय को मजबूत बनाने का संकल्प लिया है। ये एक सार्थक प्रयास है। इसके साथ ही अपने कटिंग एज रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट को प्रोत्साहित करने का भी रास्ता अपनाया है, जिससे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को प्रोत्साहित करने का भी रास्ता अपनाया है, जिससे चार्टर्ड अकाउंट्स तेज गति से ही हो रहे बदलाव को अपने व्यवसाय में समाहित कर रहे हैं। इस अवसर पर मैं उन तकनीकी बदलावों पर जोर देना चाहूँगी, जो अकाउंटिंग और ऑडिटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस के भविष्य में क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन लाएंगे। डेटा का मैनुअल असेसमेंट लगभग अप्रचलित हो गया है। जैसे जैसे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस परिपक्वता प्राप्त करेगी, मशीनों द्वारा डेटा माइनिंग, ऑडिटिंग और अकाउंटिंग के ढांचे से काफी बदलाव आएगी। लोगों द्वारा किया गया उलटफेर टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए आसानी से सामने आ जाएगा। इसका स्पष्ट अर्थ है कि क्रिएटिव अकाउंटिंग अतीत की बात हो जाएगा। मेरी राय है, ICAI को न केवल समय के साथ तालमेल बिठाने के लिए, बल्कि इस व्यवसाय में सही और नैतिक प्रथाओं को लागू करने के लिए तकनीकी नवाचारों को उत्साहपूर्वक अपनाने का प्रयास करना चाहिए। देवियों और स्वजनों, मुझे बताया गया है कि ICAI ने यूडीन यानी यूनिक डॉक्यूमेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर की शुरुआत की है। इसके जरिए चार्टर्ड अकाउंट्स के प्रमाण पत्रों का सत्यायन हो रहा है। जैसा आप स्वयं जानते हैं कि आपके सर्टिफिकेशन का बहुत महत्व होता है। आपके हस्ताक्षर और प्रमाण पत्रों को देखकर देश के छोटे बड़े निवेशक अपने निवेश का निर्णय लेते हैं। गलत सत्यापन न सिर्फ लोगों के निवेश को डुबाता है, बल्कि लाखों घरों के सपनों को भी तोड़ देता है। इसीलिए आपके व्यवसाय में प्रामाणिकता की बहुत आवश्यकता है। मुझे खुशी है कि आपकी यूडीन के जरिए ये सार्थक प्रयास शुरू किया गया है। इस विषय अवसर पर वर्ल्ड कांग्रेस ऑफ अकाउंटेंट्स के सफल आयोजन के लिए ICAI को बधाई देना चाहती हूँ। उसे ओलंपिक्स ऑफ अकाउंटेंसी प्रोफेशन के नाम से भी जाना जाता है। मुझे ये बताया गया है कि इस कार्यक्रम के अस्तित्व के 118 वर्षों में पहली बार ये भारत में आयोजित किया गया है, जिसमें 120 देशों का हजारों प्रतिनिधियों ने भाग लिया था। ICAI के क्षमता और सदस्य संख्या को विश्व में आदर से देखा जाता है। फिर भी हमारी फार्म्स विश्वव्यापी या बड़ी MNCs के स्तर पर नहीं पहुंची है। इस दिशा में प्रयास जारी है। मेरा मानना है कि इस प्रयास को और बल मिलेगा और अकाउंटेंसी फार्म विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में रेगुलेशंस पर ध्यान दे और लॉ फार्म्स के साथ कोलैबोरेशन करें। ये न सिर्फ ज्ञान का क्षितिज बढ़ाएगा, बल्कि भारत की बढ़ती अर्थव्यवस्था को गति भी मिलेगा। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर आपके लिए अपना प्रभाव दर्ज करने का ये उचित अवसर भी है। आज जब देश G20 के अध्यक्ष के नाते विकसित और विकासशील देशों की मेजबानी कर रहा है, ICAI को दुनिया के बेस्ट अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स एंड प्रैक्टिसेस को अपनाना चाहिए। हमारी अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस के बारे में विश्व समुदाय को बताने का ये एक अच्छा अवसर है। ऐसे प्रयासों से आपकी कार्य पद्धति में निरंतर सुधार और विकास होता रहता है। अप्रैल 2023 के महीने में GST रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन अब तक का सबसे अधिक रहा है, जो कि एक कीर्तिमान है। ये उल्लेखनीय उपलब्धि न केवल करदाताओं बल्कि आप जैसे सभी पेशेवरों की प्रतिबद्धता का परिमाण है और देश के विकास में योगदान देने के लिए दिन रात काम कर रहे हैं। ये ICAI का राष्ट्र निर्माण के एक प्रभावी भागीदार बनाता है। हमारे पूर्ववर्ती राष्ट्रपति आदरणीय अब्दुल कलाम ने आपको देश के विकास का भागीदार व पार्टनर कहा था। ये सरकार के साथ आपके प्रयास का परिणाम है कि देश में निरंतर टैक्स बेस बढ़ता जा रहा है। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग टैक्स कॉम्प्लायंस रेजिम की तरफ जा रहे हैं। मुझे बताया गया है कि आपके कोई सुझाव के जरिए कर प्रणाली को आसान और पारदर्शी बनाया गया है। कर नियोजन अच्छा है, पर कर चोरी दंडनीय है। हर नागरिक किसी न किसी रूप से कर देता है और ये चाहता है कि उसके योगदान का समुचित उपयोग हो। कोविड-19 महामारी के समय में कल्याणकारी योजना चलाई गई और वैक्सीन का प्रबंध किया गया है। इसी तरह गरीबी और अनुसूचित जातियों और अनुसूचित जनजातियों के कल्याण के लिए कई योजनाएं शुरू हुई है। ऐसे संदर्भ में आप सबका ये सामाजिक दायित्व बनता है कि देश के करदाताओं को कर प्रणाली को अपनाने के लिए प्रेरित करें और उससे लाभ समझाएं। देश के विकास में आपकी भागीदारी की भूमिका तभी सार्थक होगी। मुझे विश्वास है कि आप सब अपने दायित्व का भली भांति निर्वहन करेंगे और चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी के व्यवसाय का एक पिलर ऑफ इकोनॉमिक गवर्नेंस के रूप में देखा जाएगा। आइए साझा दृष्टिकोण और मूल्यों के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता की भावना को और अधिक मजबूत बनाएं। हम सब उपलब्धियों का उत्सव मनाएं, अतीत का सम्मान करें और आगे आने वाली असीमित संभावनाओं को साकार करें। साथ मिलकर आप सभी एक ऐसे भविष्य का निर्माण करेंगे जो उज्जवल, अधिक समावेशी और विकास के असीमित अवसरों से भरा होगा। मुझे विश्वास है कि आपके संस्थान के 75 वर्षों की गौरवशाली परंपरा आप सभी के लिए आने वाली वर्षों में सर्वश्रेष्ठ बनने और देश की सेवा करने के लिए प्रेरणा सिद्ध करेगी। आप सभी को मेरे बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय हिंद।
ICAI को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए, आपके मार्गदर्शन के लिए राष्ट्रपति महोदया आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। और अब आप सबसे अनुरोध, कृपया राष्ट्रगान के लिए खड़े हो जाएं। काइंडली राइज फॉर द नेशनल एंथम प्लीज। थैंक यू। Thank you very much. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, for gracing the 75th Foundation Day celebrations of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And I think we all would agree that as Chartered Accountants, we are going to rededicate ourselves to the role of being a nation builder, to being a complete business solution provider, encompassing the core values of excellence, independence, integrity, and sustainability. So with that, we conclude the first part of the CA Day celebrations. We now hop across to the second part. So everyone is requested to remain inside the auditorium. We'll start with the second part in just a bit. And before that, we are playing a 2-minute video for your viewing pleasure.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India was established on the 1st of July 1949, embarked on a journey to shape the future of the accounting profession in India. This year on 1st July, ICAI will be entering in 75th year of excellence. Over the past 75 years, it has grown into a revered institution thanks to our great leaders and torchbearers for their excellent efforts. From its humble beginnings, the ICAI has been built brick by brick, guided by the principle of independence, excellence, and integrity. With each passing year, it has evolved to meet the journey.
it gives me immense pleasure to announce that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has decided to organize its first ever Global Professional Accountants Convention, GLOPAC, on the theme Connecting the Globe, Creating Value, on November 24th to 26th, 2023 at the Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar in India. GLOPAC is being celebrated as a mega event to showcase the important role that the accountancy profession has been playing in the economic and social development of our country.
Globalization has made the world one village, and the services of chartered accountant are also available globally without any boundaries. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is also devoting significant efforts towards global networking. The convention shall be attended by more than 3,000 delegates from around 40 countries. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the fraternity on behalf of ICAI to attend and participate in the first ever GLOPAC.
ICAI is geared up to welcome delegates from across the globe at the GLOPAC.
Across sectors like infrastructure, real estate, information technology, telecom, healthcare, and SME, a vibrant India continues to surge ahead, emerging as a market with enormous untapped potential and a destination for global investments. As an integral part of this growth story, the role of chartered accountants has expanded to a wider canvas, a role that is cross-functional, multidimensional, and multifaceted. The cornerstone of this profession was laid in 1949 by an Act of Parliament with the establishment of a statutory body called the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, or the ICAI, tackling challenges being faced by key sectors of the economy, leveraging financial services sector, providing training to the officials at center and state levels in professional areas, educating investors on the nuances of the capital market, and much more. The ICAI curriculum is aptly designed by combining education, training system value-added soft skills, and personality development to produce globally competitive accounting professionals. Expanding knowledge resources, creating talent pools, nurturing young professionals. Over the years, the ICAI has played a pivotal role in formulating and implementing a host of academic initiatives aimed at keeping chartered accountants on the leading edge of business and industry. ICAI has been making ongoing contribution to quality assurance through disciplinary, peer review, and financial reporting review. These are aimed at ensuring and enhancing the quality of audit and assurance services offered by chartered accountants. ICAI is also playing an increasingly proactive role on the international front and has signed MOUs and MRAs with various accounting bodies, which entails working in tandem with each other to provide synergy. ICAI is the founder member of IFAC, CAPA, SAFA, and IN, and its members hold important positions on the boards and committees of these organizations. As India integrates with the global economy, the ICAI is playing a key role in updating Indian professionals and businesses by providing education, knowledge resources, and practical guidelines in the relevant areas. The ICAI has been constantly formulating new accounting standards as well as revising the existing ones, with the objective to bring the Indian accounting standards in line with the international accounting standards. This has a far-reaching impact on business reporting and holds enormous benefits for capital markets and the investor community. ICAI truly believes that women's participation is
so good
essential
evening
for the
once
nation's
again.
development.
Please take your seats.
They have the qualities of dedication,
Everyone, can I request you to
consistency,
please take your
hard work,
seats?
and honesty, which are the need of the hour.
आप सभी से आग्रह है
Education
अपना
is one
स्थान
of the
ग्रहण
most
कर लें.
important means of empowering women with the knowledge, skills, and self-confidence necessary to participate fully in the...
Please take your seats. We are all set to start part 2 of the CA Day celebrations. आप सभी से निवेदन है अपनी सीट पे बैठ जाएं. जो बैठे हुए हैं उनके लिए जोरदार तालियां. ये अच्छा है. जो खड़े हैं वो भी ताली बजा रहे हैं. आप बैठ जाएं तो ज्यादा बेहतर होगा. May I request all the Central Council members to please come on the stage. May I request the Honorable President ICAI, Vice President ICAI, and the respected Central Council members to please come on the stage. Come, Sanjeev sir, Chitle sir, please come on the stage. Prakash sir. Honorable President, Vice President, please come on the stage. Everyone, please take your seats. What's coming up next as part 2 of the CA Day celebrations is going to be very nostalgic, very creative. You cannot afford to even blink your eye. I'm sure that the historic nostalgia is going to touch you. Are you guys ready for part 2 of the CA Day celebrations? Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Please put your hands together as President, Vice President, and the Central Council members come to the stage. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Central Council members, please? All Central Council members requested to be on the stage. And immediate past president. All the spouses of Central Council members, please join us on stage. I think gender equality is very essential and the support from family is very critical. Can we request the better halves? Please welcome the better half of the Central Council members on stage, please. It is a very momentous occasion. ICAI entering 75th year of its establishment. Smiles all around. Welcome. Please come. This is unprecedented. This is very nice. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so if we have everyone in attendance, let's begin with part 2 of the CA Day celebrations with the ICAI motto song. Can I request everyone to kindly rise for the motto song, please? Thank you.
यशस्सुप्तेषु जाग्रति यशस्सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामंशो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता
Thank you very much. President sir, would you like to say something before we start the nostalgic part? Okay. Thank you. So everyone can take their seats. So everyone can take their seats. And we'll begin with, yes, happy seat. Yeah, so all the Central Council members and the better half can now take your seat. And what we're going to present next is a very beautiful spectacle. Before we present the play, we have for you nearly 12 minutes audio visual that will take you back first to the times of pre-formation of ICAI. So ICAI got formed on 1st of July 1949. Much work was done before that. So how we had the history of what was known as Accountancy Board. What was the debate over the word chartered? You must have seen the article outside. We have put it on the wall. And then when ICAI was created on 1st of July, in a matter of 6 weeks, on the 15th and the 16th of August, the first council meeting happened. How was the journey from then on? How did the ICAI emblem Garuda came along? And finally, ICAI then and now. So I'm sure that this 12 minutes audio visual that is going to come on your screen in just a bit is going to capture your hearts. So thank you once again, everyone. And as everyone takes their seat down below, we are going to play this AV. Thank you very much. Thank you.
They fought long. They fought hard. They fought for an India free to dream of a better tomorrow. But no account of a free India is complete without an account of those who have been at the heart of those ventures, micro, small, medium, or large, that freed up the potential of 1 billion. hidden in millions of books of accounts, is an inspiring saga of those who took on the heavy mantle of accountability. It's an epic full of unsung heroes, of demanding quests for everlasting values, of a body deemed so important, Parliament passed it into law even before the Constitution. An initiative so critical, it had to become nothing less than the most hallowed of institutions. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI. The profession of accountancy in the modern sense was recognized in India when the Companies Act of 1913 mandated that the balance sheet of every firm would be audited by an auditor of the company. What still needed recognition was that Indian accountants were skilled and capable enough to carry the designation of Chartered Accountant, a title reserved for those certified through an examination by any of the 5 societies of accountants registered in the United Kingdom and from other parts of the British Empire, except India. In 1931, the Indian Accountancy Board, IAB, was set up, and in March 1936, the first demands for chartered were raised. Every year, the pleas were more insistent. From nominated members to elected, from demographic representation to meritocratic, many changes happened, but not the change to Chartered Accountant, a coveted title that carried with it the weight of responsibility, an implicit sense of higher standards and duty. Giving that title demanded the British recognize the merits of accountants in India, who were still mere registered accountants. When the tricolour rose, along with it arose not just a sense of patriotism, but awareness of the mammoth task of building a nation, of building enterprises and companies, of growing the economy. The role of accountants as vital agents of accountability became even more critical. Their broad shoulders were ready, and they deserved the recognition of their skills. The IAP's determined efforts from 1945 to 1948 resulted in the formation of an accountancy expert committee comprising 5 practicing members of the profession and 4 from the government side. Their report and a draft bill they submitted recommended the designation of Chartered Accountant for all registered accountants and the formation of an Institute of Chartered Accountants to be formally incorporated through a special act of the Dominion Legislature. The bill was vetted by the Ministry of Law, and a summary was referred to the Cabinet, which concurred. It was further referred to a select committee, whose report, dated 1st March 1949, was tabled before the Dominion Legislature. The bill was passed, assented to by the then Governor-General of India, Dr. C. Rajagopalachari, on 1st May 1949, published in the Gazette of India on 3rd May, and came into force on 1st July 1949. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India was born. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India held its first council meeting on the 15th and 16th of August 1949. It was a meeting not just of minds, but of visionary minds. Minds that were mindful of the fact that the decisions they took today, the priorities they set, the direction they steered, the issues and the way they debated them would decide whether we remained an institute or became an institution. Several remarkable things happened at that historic first meeting. A tone of congeniality and of goodwill was forever set when the President and the Vice President were elected unopposed.
In the absence of any other nominations, I declare CA Kapadia and CA Basu
elected as President and Vice President respectively.
And so was the Secretary.
The proposal to appoint Mr. K. Srinivasan as the first Secretary is carried unanimously. Thank you.
And the members of the standing committees. A spirit of cooperation between the government and ICAI was fostered when the government offered office space for immediate use and land on a paid basis for the nascent organization's future headquarters.
Let the headquarters be in Delhi for 1 year and position can be reviewed later.
The interests of the practicing accountants were addressed foremost.
The consensus appears to be that certificates of practice as associates and fellows should be issued to all who are entitled to it according to information available with government. In doubtful cases, the persons concerned should be asked to obtain the approval of the council for taking up other employment within a specified period.
A strong pillar for efficiency was erected when the council found the government's recommendation for staffing as too generous and opted to operate with less. Selflessness became a guiding virtue when, despite the option of higher remuneration, the members elected to stick to the rather meager government allowances.
So far as government officers of grade 1 are concerned, the maximum rate of daily allowance admissible to them is rupees 15 a day. As regards TA, they are entitled to 1 1/4 AFS if they travel by air and 1/2 rail fare if they traveled by train.
Let us accept the proposal.
The value of frugality was strongly etched in the first ever budget, which kept expenses so low that there were funds available for the organization's growth, even with the then paltry revenues of just rupees 2,29,000. And finally, integrity, trust, responsibility, service, and cooperation were made irrevocable values of the institute when the newly elected president made his closing speech with these golden words.
I have taken up the duty of the President as I was sure of the cooperation of the members of the Council. The profession has certainly to prove that it deserved the autonomy. The function of the auditor is not merely to act as a tool in the hands of persons who are responsible for his appointment, but to discharge his duties in a proper manner. The other aspect of the case is the relations of the profession with the income tax department. I do not see any reason why this sort of atmosphere should at all exist. A position should be achieved where the department itself comes to the conclusion that it is the profession only on whom the trust of the department should be reposed. When we are able to create that position, that will be the day when we have proved to government and to the country that we deserve the autonomy in the fullest measures.
In the first ever council meeting, the members deliberated that we are not to be guided by petty considerations, but by what's best for India. It was clear that we wanted to be an institution not of accountancy alone, but of nation building. These high ideals needed an emblem and a motto that would not just guide and inspire us, but remind us to wear the designation of CA as proudly as a badge of honor. In the second meeting of the Council of ICAI, held on 9th and 10th November 1949, the President CA G.P. Kapadia drew the attention of the members to folders containing designs of the proposed emblems for the institution. He also explained the reasoning for each. One design stood out, perhaps because it was specially blessed. C.A.C.S. Sastri, a member of the council and a devotee of Sri Aurobindo, sought His Holiness advice on a symbol that would capture the spirit and intent of the newly formed ICAI. Well versed in the scriptures and immensely wise, Sri Aurobindo proposed the Garuda as the symbol, and as ICAI's motto, a quotation from the Kathopanishad, Ya Esha Sukteshu Jagriti, one who is awake amongst those who are asleep. The Garuda in mythology is the Vahan of Lord Vishnu, he who sustains the world. The Garuda flies faster than thought, soars above petty considerations, and has incredible sight that misses nothing. Ya Esha Sukteshu Jagriti goes to the very heart of what a CA does, urging him to stay vigilant and guard the financial health of enterprises and the nation. We couldn't have found a symbol and a motto more appropriate or inspiring. The account of ICAI's progress is an account of India's progress. It has fallen on India's chartered accountants to not just stay current with the change, but to also be its catalyst and the one to steer it. From an institute with humble beginnings, with just 15 office bearers and 5 government nominees, we had to grow in stature and become an institution like none other, one that could champion the little-known profession of chartered accountancy and make it a coveted one that could nurture talent and ensure that it was the best, one that could ensure that the profession spread its wings far and wide, one that could design the most rigorous curriculums, hold exams, hold hands, hold high the torch of integrity, one that could form policy along with the nation's policymakers, an institute that has always looked at doing more, from proudly hosting the 21st World Congress of Accountants to being the key body driving implementation of GST, from coming up with the unique idea of UDIN for better governance and documentation authenticity and management to creating numerous initiatives to strengthen MSMEs, from launching financial tax literacy and sustainability literacy drives to partnering the nation's Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, from taking forward the Government Export of Services initiative by identifying accountancy as one of the 12 champion services sectors, to ICAI becoming the pioneering accounting body in the world to release the detailed Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standards, FAIS, Sustainability Reporting Standards, Social Audit Standards, and other internationally benchmarked standards. An institute that has always looked to what's next. What we see is Indian chartered accountants becoming leading accounting and auditing firms across the world. We see business advisory services, including strategic consulting, risk management, forensic accounting, and other specialized areas like information systems audit to meet the diverse needs of business and society. We see an evolving curriculum that incorporates emerging fields like multidisciplinary practice, data analytics, cyber security, sustainability reporting, and more. We see a rapid acceleration in our digital transformation. We see artificial intelligence, automation, and blockchain revolutionizing the field, and India's chartered accountants adapting to this transformation quickest in the world. We see Indian chartered accountants leading with the spirit of Vishwaguru in accounting, finance, advisory, and audit functions. Today, we celebrate 75 years of ensuring an effective financial ecosystem. 75 years of excellence, independence, and integrity. 75 glorious years of building trust. 75 साल विश्वास के ICAI 75 years.
Did you enjoy the video that showcased? Okay. So hopefully now when we'll have a live play, you will enjoy it more. So we'll require some time to set up, which gives me an opportunity to come down so that we can hear some of the voices that have been listening to everyone from the stage. So, sir, would you like to say something and wish everyone happy CA Day?
I wish you a happy CA Day to all. It's such a wonderful moment for all of us. I could see a lot of emotions in the people, and today we are proud of being a chartered accountant. Hope the next 25 years will take us much higher. Thank you.
Thank you, Gopalan sir. Preeti ma'am?
Wish you all a happy, very, very happy CA Day. And on this day, I, as a sustainability standard board chairperson, I would like to give all of you the message, Har Ghar sustainability, and let us save nature and save paper. Do not waste water, electricity, and save nature for our best future generations. Thank you.
No prize for guessing that CA Preeti Sabla is the chair of Sustainability Board.
Yes, thank you, Amit, and wish you a very happy CA Day. I think truly honored and privileged to be part of this momentous occasion today, celebration of trust, the 75 years. And I think I'm proudly, I can say that I wish each one of you the 75th CA Day on behalf of every council member, of course, but then it's truly an honor, and that after seeing this extraordinary event for that 1 hour, truly blessed to be part of this council. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We've got Umesh Sharma ji, who comes from Aurangabad. I know you've got some interest in acting. What do you expect from the play? 40 minutes play that showcases the first Central Council meeting. As an actor, what do you expect?
Frankly, first, I will expect that the old memories of ICF first meeting will be there, and there will be different thoughts, and the intention behind the thoughts of the member will be revealed today, and their thought process had laid the foundation for ICI. So that will be the moment which we all want to see, and as an actor, I will be very happy to see lively the meeting which happened 75 years before, and this is also a GST day. This is also Doctor's Day and Engineer's Day. But in India, it is remembered as a CA Day. That is the strength of our profession. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it's Doctor and CA Day. That's why health is wealth. Devasi sir, what do you expect from the play on first council meeting? Your expectations?
I expect to see, Chippy Kapadia, about whom I read the history of accounting, quoted him in when I wrote the president's speech. I hope all those quotes comes here. You see, when I see the play, Mr. Basu, Mr. Shastri is a very important character for me because he was the one who got Garuda the eagle. You see, he talked to Aravinda ji and got Garuda the eagle. So I hope to see Mr. Shastri, somebody playing Mr. Shastri here. Right? So looking forward to the play. Certainly.
Absolutely. I did have a chance to see some of them doing the makeup, and they almost reminded us it's 1949. So I did meet CS Shastri. Aniket sir, your expectation? This is fantastic. A play that dates back to 1949.
I think, first of all, once again, a very happy CA Day and wonderful to see all of you. I think the video itself gave me goosebumps, took us back to 1949 and in fact, even to the accountancy board. And what is going to be expected more than what is expected from the play, I think it's all of us sitting here as council members it's going to be more onerous for us to realize that when the play which was being done today is the first council meeting, we probably might have 25, 50 years later, another council or another professions or another regional council which may want to reenact our own council. And therefore, I think it makes our tasks, and especially mine as the president of this institute, to chair a council which not only decides about today, the requirement of membership and students, but also envisions the future. And I would keenly be looking for is how these gentlemen, 14 of them, who did not even have an office and asked the government for temporary infrastructure and then eventually bought a piece of land in Delhi. And today we have 100 own buildings of the institute. I think this is all thanks to these legendary people who have contributed in the creation of the profession. And let us hope, as it has been said, that the 25 years from now, not only is the institute the largest accounting body, but a professional body and a profession which is looked up to across the globe. So looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Which character you want to see other than the president?
I personally would be also very keen to see the secretary of the institute, who happened to be from the ministry,
Yes.
and then was deputed and taken as a secretary of the institute. And the role of the secretary in the council has evolved so much over these years. And today he is designated as the CEO. And I think I must acknowledge as the president that today, though the councils, the regional councils, the branches, the membership contributes to where we are, one very important pillar is the employees of the institute who have also taken us where we are. So looking forward to hearing and seeing that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I think we'll also be very keen to see the first president's character, CA GP Kapadia. And this morning, Honorable President Aniket Talati ji did unfurl the flag at the ICAI Bhavan headquarters and also garlanded the bust of CA Kapadia. Well, right now, let me introduce to you someone really special. Have you seen Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge? Just raise hand. Have you seen Dilwale Dulhaniya? Have you seen Kuch Kuch Hota Hai? Have you seen हम आपके हैं कौन? अगर फिल्मों में रुचि नहीं है तो चलिए टेलीविजन का ऑप्शन देता हूं. आपू क्या उल्टन पलटन सीरियल देखते हैं आप? हम सफर देखा है आपने? हमराई देखा है? चलिए टेलीविजन में भी रुचि नहीं रखते तो नाटक में रुचि रखते होंगे. क्या आपने फिल्मों में, टीवी में, थिएटर में हिमानी शिवपुरी जी को देखा है? तो तालियों से अभिनंदन करिए हिमानी जी का. Himani ji, please come on stage. Here we are. Amidst a round of applause, Himani Shivpuri, the actor who has entertained us for decades through her films, television, and theatre.
Hello, good evening. Namaskar to all of you. Yes.
Very happy that you are here as part of CA Day celebrations. Or
I'm very happy to be part of here at this historic occasion of 75 years of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I'm very happy to be here and I'm very happy to welcome all of you.
आप अच्छी एक्टर हैं. संगीत नाटक पुरस्कार भी आपको मिला है संगीत नाटक अकादमी का. फाइनेंस में और फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट में कितनी रुचि है हिमानी जी को?
मैं पैसे के मामले में बिल्कुल जीरो अंडा हूँ. मेरा चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एकदम परेशान हो जाता है मुझसे, बिकॉज जहाँ तक पैसा है, मतलब आई लाइक टू अर्न मनी बट आई डोंट नो हाउ टू मैनेज इट. आई एम सॉरी. काफ़ी सारे लोग मुझे हेल्प कर रहे हैं, पीपल लाइक स्किल्ड पीपल लाइक यू, but I'm sorry, I am not born with the aptitude to manage money like all of you present here.
But
that's a talent.
Would you say that new generation actors should embrace financial literacy?
Of course, because I think all these younger generation of actors have become so smart. पहले आपने सुना होगा कहानियाँ, पता नहीं सुना है कि नहीं, जो लेजेंडरी एक्टर होते थे वो बहुत अच्छे जो डांसर थे, जिनका स्टेप शाहरुख खान से लेके मिस्टर बच्चन ने कॉपी किया है. वो है ना, क्या है गाना कि सूरत की दिल के का भगवान दादा. इतना उन्होंने पैसा कमाया, बट मरते वक्त ही डाइड ऑफ पेन्यूरी. और ये अपने प्रदीप कुमार जी एक टाइम पर नंबर 1 हीरो हुआ करते थे. ताजमहल और बहुत सारी फिल्में उन्होंने करी, बैजू बावरा. लेकिन बाद में उनकी ऐसी हालत हो गई थी, one of the मतलब नसीर भाई recount करते हैं कि you know he didn't have the money, वो कुछ ऐसे small से role करने के लिए आए थे because he had to do the role to survive because पैसे का management नहीं आता था पहले के actors को, तो उनको टैक्सी का, उनके पास टैक्सी का, बॉम्बे में ज्यादातर टैक्सियां चलती थी, रिक्शा तो अब वो भी बांद्रा तक ही हैं, तो उनके पास टैक्सी फेयर के पैसे नहीं थे, तो ऐसी स्थिति में हो जाते थे एक्टर, क्योंकि उनके पास जब पैसा आता था तो यू नो एक्टर्स आर वेरी इमोशनल फूल्स कह सकते हैं, तो वो खूब उड़ाते थे पैसा, गाड़ियां खरीद ली और बाकी पार्टीज दे रहे हैं, और जब उसको मैनेज करना नहीं आता था. लेकिन आजकल के एक्टर्स थैंकफुली have become very smart. They have started owning their own production houses and they are really ruling it now.
जी, ये बहुत अच्छा संदेश आपने सीए डे पर दिया है कि पैसा कमाना एक बात है, लेकिन पैसे का मैनेजमेंट दूसरा, और उम्मीद है कि नई जनरेशन बचत भी करेगी, निवेश भी करेगी और पैसा ग्रो भी करेगी. इससे पहले कि आप प्ले इंट्रोड्यूस करें, कोई डायलॉग बोल के दिखा दे. मुझे तो वो डीडीएलजे वाला सीन था ना आपका, साड़ी वाला, आपने शाहरुख का जिक्र किया, वो बड़ा पसंद है.
शाहरुख चाहिए उस सीन को करने के लिए, समझे?
सारे
शाहरुख को ले आओ. नो 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 प्लीज सिट देयर. मैं क्या करूंगी? नहीं नहीं,
आप कहेंगे तो वॉलंटियर्स रेडी है.
नहीं, वॉलंटियर्स रहने दीजिए आप. नहीं नहीं नहीं, आई एम, एक्सक्यूज मी सर, अब मैं आपको एक अपना जो आजकल मेरा एक सीरियल चल रहा है,
उल्टन पलटन,
हप्पू की उल्टन पलटन, उसका you're very welcome. I hope Shahrukh doesn't take offense.
लेकिन शाहरुख के साथ साथ मेरे को काजोल भी चाहिए, सिमरन भी चाहिए.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
सिमरन ढूंढ के लाइए.
जी, उल्टन पलटन का सुना दीजिए.
उल्टन पलटन का सुना देती हूँ. देखो भैया, मैं आई हूँ, इतने आई हूँ मैं सिर्फ ये जो प्ले होने वालों है, नाटक होने वालों है, बा को इंट्रोडक्शन करवाने. बा के भी कम पैसे मिल रहे हैं, और अगर डायलॉग की एक्टिंग करवानी है तो पैसा बढ़वाओ, नहीं तो तुम्हारी नींबू निचोड़ देंगे हम.
Himani Shivpuri will now introduce this play. Thank you very much.
Here, you can take this mic. I think this mic works. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Once again, I welcome you. अब मेरे को इंट्रोडक्शन अपना देने की जरूरत नहीं है, भाई साहब ने बहुत अच्छा इंट्रोडक्शन दिया. मैं हिमानी शिवपुरी हूँ. मैं आपको on behalf of myself and the National School of Drama, I welcome you on this momentous occasion. Thank you. Today we have gathered here to witness the reenactment of the inaugural meeting of the Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, held on August 15th and 16th, 1949. In this collaboration between ICAI and NST, we are honored to have been entrusted with the task to bring to life the very essence of the first council meeting. With our troupe of talented actors and skilled technicians, we endeavor to create an unforgettable experience. Soon after the ICAI was formed on the 1st of July 1949, its governing council held its first meeting on the 15th and 16th August 1949 with 20 members. Out of these 20, 15 were elected among the chartered accountants and 5 were government nominees. The said meeting was also attended by 3 officers from the Government of India. At this very first meeting, many crucial decisions were taken, which later on became the basis on which the institution and the profession of chartered accountants was built. Therefore, this meeting assumes a great significance, not only for the members who are governing the profession today at central, regional and branch level, but it is equally important for the general members and for the students to know how the seed was planted by these visionaries, which today has resulted in ICAI becoming truly global, and its members have come to be known as partners in nation building. I think you all deserve a clap for yourself at least. On the morning of 15th August 1949, the first to arrive to the council meeting were three government officials. Mr. S. Ranganathan, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, Mr. K. Srinivasan, Under Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, Mr. S. Venkatraman, Officer on Special Duty, Ministry of Commerce. They came early because they had to do the last minute checkups before the meeting started. Soon after their arrival, CA G.P. Kapadia, CA M.S. Krishnaswamy, CA K.N. Gudgutia, and CA N.M. Raiji entered the meeting room. They were then joined by CA S.B.L. Vaish, CA S.D. Nargorwala, and CA B.D. Birdy. Next to join was CA S. Surya Narayan Iyer, CA R.N. Rajam Iyer, CA C.S. Shastri, and CA S.N. Banerjee, followed by senior chartered accountants like CA G. Boshu, CA N.M. Shah, CA N.R. Modi, and CA M.K. Dev. Next came CA G.M. Bathgate, CA.S. Ghosh, and CA P.R. Mehra. And finally, Mr. C.C. Desai, ICS, and the renowned historian Dr. Tarachand entered the meeting room.
All right, gentlemen, please settle down.
And as soon as Mr. Desai took his chair, he brought the first council meeting to order.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
I welcome all members of the council to this historic first meeting of the Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. As you all know, I have been appointed by the Government of India under the proviso to Section 12 of the Chartered Accountants Act 1949 to discharge the responsibilities of the President till such time as the President is elected by this august body. Let me take up agenda items number 2 and 5, namely election of the President and Vice President. May I have the nominations, please?
Sir, I propose the name of CA G.P. Kapadia for presidentship.
Okay.
Sir, I second the proposal.
Sir, I propose the name of CA G. Basu for vice presidentship.
Very good, very good.
Sir, I second the proposal.
Very good, very good, very good.
Any other nominations?
No, I think there is
All right. In the absence of any other nomination, I declare CA Kapadia as the President and CA Basu as the Vice President. I, on behalf of Government of India, members of the Council, and on my personal behalf, would like to extend hearty congratulations to CA Kapadia and CA Basu on their election as the President and Vice President of the first Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. As was mentioned by the Honorable Commerce Minister earlier today, this is an important step in the progress of the profession. We are fortunate that we have amongst ourselves a President and Vice President who have rendered signal service to the profession and who commanded the unanimous support of the members of the Council, as well as the unanimous support of the profession outside. I do not know CA Kapadia much, but when I took over as the Commerce Secretary, then in his capacity as the expert as a member of the expert committee, he came in closer contact with me. I have no doubt that CA Kapadia's devotion to the profession is as profound as is expected of the first president of the council. I also have no doubt that he would strain every nerve and make every possible sacrifice to attend to the work of the council, to raise its dignity and to advance its cause to the best of his ability. You have a worthy president in him. Great. My knowledge of CA Basu is a little less, but from what I saw of him on the accountancy board, I have no doubt that the two of them will form a good team and raise the dignity, status, and standard of the institute. I now request CA Kapadia and CA Basu to take the chair.
So glad you were.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Come. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Just get my paper. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. Desai. Thank you, gentlemen. Before I take up the agenda items, I must acknowledge the services that have been rendered to the profession and particularly to the Indian Accountancy Board by Mr. Desai. Mr. Desai played a crucial part in the expert committee, and he took a lot of interest and gave a great deal of help in piloting the bill through the Assembly. His energetic approach to all the matters has gained the autonomy for the profession at a very early date, and we are very grateful for this. Mr. Ranganathan, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, has also rendered sterling help for us in tackling the various difficulties that came up before the passage of the bill, and he did this in a very tactful manner. Thank you. C.A. Krishnaswamy took a very active part in all the stages that we had to pass through before we got autonomy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Lastly, I thank all the members of the Council for the confidence reposed in me, and I hope that I shall prove worthy of it. Thank you. I will now take up the items on the agenda. Let us go to item number 6, which is location of the office of the Council. I feel that during the initial stages, we should have the location of office at New Delhi, because in every stage of our work, we will be dependent upon the record of the government, the past basic record. And as you know, the government will never part with its records. So it is true that it is difficult to find accommodation in New Delhi, so we may need to look at an alternative location at an early stage. However, if the views of the members of the council are that we need to have the location in New Delhi of the headquarters, at least at the early stages, then we can request the government to provide us with accommodation.
Well, on behalf of the government, I can say that till such time as the council can decide on a location or have their own building, it should be possible for the government to provide temporary accommodation.
Very good. Very good.
Provided your demand is not unduly high. And at a later date, we can also help to find a plot of land in Delhi if necessary, but on payment.
Mr. President, let the headquarters be in Delhi for 1 year, and the position can be reviewed later.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. Let us now go on to agenda item number 8, which is opening of the bank account.
Sir, is it necessary to pass such a formal resolution to this effect? Especially in view of the fact that the first secretary is going to be nominated by the government? And in any case, if you are passing a resolution to this effect, we must fix a limit beyond which the secretary shall not sign the checks. And this has to be done during the tenure of the secretary being nominated by the government, so that the same trend can be followed subsequently when this council appoints a new secretary.
When the council is appointing an officer on such a high salary as secretary, we should expect responsible work from him. We should have confidence in our own secretary, and nothing, I repeat, nothing should be done to damage that confidence. After all, it is not difficult for anyone to circumvent the limit, as more checks can be signed of sums within that limit.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So I think we have general agreement with CA Vesh, and so the resolution is passed as appended in the agenda. Thank you. We can now move on and we take up item number 9, which is approval of the temporary common seal. Now, gentlemen, as you know, the certificate of practice needs to be issued within 1 month from the date of the first meeting. The permanent seal can be looked at in due course. However, since the certificate needs to be issued, I suggest we go with the specimen seal for the moment.
President sir, are we going to issue two kinds of certificates? One for fellow and another for associate? Or are we going to issue just one certificate?
Mr. President, if I may. Arrangements have been made to issue certificates of both the kinds.
Okay.
We expect the council will formally approve of the action later.
Okay. Personally, I have a doubt on the list of persons prepared by you. The list has to be properly checked. Doubts, if any, has to be cleared. And in case of any discrepancy, it should be brought to the notice of the candidate. And information should be sought without any kind of disciplinary action, verified, and subsequently, the certificate should be issued.
Well, C.A. Krishnaswamy, the consensus appears to be that certificates of practice as associates and fellows should be issued to all those entitled to it based on the records with the government. Now, in doubtful cases, the attention of the persons concerned should be drawn to the relevant provisions of the Act, and they should be asked to obtain alternative employment within a specified period. In cases where, according to presentation, the member concerned has full-time employment with another person or firm and does not actually have their own practice, then no certificate of practice will be issued to them. They should be informed that they should give up such employment or obtain the permission of the council before a certificate of practice can be issued to them. Now, gentlemen, we've had a long day of discussions, and with this, I adjourn the first day of our meeting. We will resume our deliberations at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And let us not forget that today is the 15th of August. Hence, we have the freedom to leave. Thank you. Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
On this second day of our first meeting, I would like to start with agenda item number 7A, which is appointment of the secretary. Now, till now, we have not been able to get a definite indication from the government as to their choice in the matter. However, I would like to share some information. Mr. K. Srinivasan, Under Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, has been helping all along in the drafting of the bill as well as in the expert committee stages. And his help has really been very valuable indeed. If the government thought fit, I think they might lend us the services of Mr. Srinivasan so that he could become the first secretary
of the council.
Excellent
idea. I would like to get the views of the council first, but I would also say that the benefits to us are that there would be continuity of policy and better help.
Correct.
So first the members' views, and then I would ask Mr. Desai to give his views.
All of us agree that Mr. K. Srinivasan is the best choice. If government can lend his services, at least for some time.
Yes. They should be able to.
Well, Mr. Srinivasan is certainly the most competent person. Therefore, from the side of the government also, the proposal is acceptable.
Very good.
But the question is of sparing his services. However, if it's only for a period of 1 year, I think it should be possible.
I think an assistant secretary should also be appointed, who can be trained by Mr. Srinivasan to be able to later take over his duties.
Well, appointment of an assistant secretary can also be thought of. But I do not think that within a year's time, the assistant secretary will be in such a position as to assume charge as secretary. Possibly government may have to think in terms of appointing some other gentleman at that stage.
Mr. Desai, can the council select its own secretary and ask the government to approve it?
Well, certainly if the selection is made by the council after advertisement, government will have no objection in appointing him for a further period of 2 years. But the Act is clear on the point that during the first 3 years, the secretary has to be appointed by the government.
Okay. Well, the proposal to appoint Mr. K. Srinivasan as the first secretary is carried unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Very good.
Thank you. I would like now to take up part B of the same item number 7, which is appointment of staff. The first item is appointment of an assistant secretary. I must give some information here. Mr. Venkatraman, officer on special duty, Ministry of Commerce, has been working with us on the election and also on the setting up of the institute. Now, if we would want his services, he is available. He is also having been worked with Mr. Srinivasan for some time.
Correct.
And therefore there's a benefit in that to us.
Correct.
So I think it would be a very good idea if we could appoint him as the assistant secretary of the council.
I thought we were just considering as to what posts are to be filled, and not as to who the incumbents to the post should be. I think if suddenly names are sprung upon us like this, it would be a rather undesirable practice. No. I think we should have a committee set up to interview the candidates and choose the best man available. Mr. Srinivasan's case is entirely different. Each one of us knows what useful service he's rendered to us, and that without his help and support, it would have been practically impossible to draw up and formalize the Chartered Accountants Act.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I support the views of Devesh.
Chairman, quite apart from the question of appointing an assistant secretary, may I know whether the proposal placed in front of the council is for the minimum staff necessary, and who has drawn up this list?
Well, the list was prepared by the government based on the experience of the working of the accountancy board and the work that will devolve on the council in view of the provisions in the Act. In the opinion of the government, this is the minimum staff required to run the council.
The staff is rather excessive.
I also feel that the staff is rather excessive.
I think so.
Mr. President, if I may. Actually, a bigger staff was employed then. But after the elections to the council was over, it was anticipated that the volume of work will be slightly less than what it has been in the past few months.
Gentlemen, this is the government's expression of opinion. There's nothing to prevent the council after a little while to say that the staff is too high and the number will be reduced. Since the council is not going to make these posts on the permanent basis today, I think there's no difficulty in accepting it tentatively. And after 6 months, when the executive committee meets, they can review it and consider the position again.
Exactly, yeah. Very valid.
Yeah.
Well, I think the House agrees with Mr. Ranganathan's views unanimously. Thank you.
Yes.
I will now take up item number 11 of the agenda. That is, remuneration of the President, Vice President, and the members of the Council to be approved by the government.
The word remuneration should be changed to allowances.
Mr. Krishnaswamy, I do agree.
However, since this matter is for decision by the government, I would like to ask Mr. Desai for his own views. Okay?
Well, you may call it allowances instead of remuneration, but the allowances should be those as are admissible to government officers. But whether they should be higher or lower is for the members to decide.
Mr. President, if I may, please. So far as the government officers of grade 1 are concerned, the maximum rate of daily allowances admissible to them is rupees 15 a day. As regards TA, they are allowed and entitled to 1 1/4 airfares if they travel by air and 1/2 rail fare if they travel by train.
Let us accept the proposal. Okay. Let me now go on to item number 12, which is amendment to Regulation 28 of the Chartered Accountants Regulations 1949. Now, let me read out the note given with the agenda papers. You have this in your folder. Representations have been made that the answer papers in the recent final RA examination were not properly valued. Since provision has been made in the regulations for re-examinations, it would be advisable to give effect to it retrospectively. The suggested amendment approved by government is attached.
Mr. President, I'm not in favor of this amendment. Such a provision is not salutary to this council. To my knowledge, the examiners have just done that job satisfactorily. That's all.
Well, CA Krishnaswamy, while these rules were being drafted, a provision was made for the transition period. Several things which were not in the earlier rules were actually added in the new rules and in the Act. In fact, an advantageous position was created for those people taking the examination after the institute was set up. But I do feel it is wrong and unfair to exclude deserving candidates. True. Now, I do not agree that there is something wrong. But if there is anything wrong and the examination valuation is incorrect, in that case, it will not be proper to exclude such cases just because the question was asked at the time of the setting up of the institute. Exactly. Had the institute not been set up and the act not been passed, the government itself might have chosen to amend the rules.
Yeah. Mr. Kapadia, the objective is to maintain a very high standard in the profession. Exactly. And there should be no question of re-examination if the papers have been marked and passed. This should not go in at all.
I agree with CA Basket on maintaining the highest standards in the profession. However, I'm not aware of Regulation 28.3, and I too oppose it in principle. But as long as the regulation stands, all those candidates who failed in the RA examination in May 1949 should be given the same rights of having their papers revalued.
I agree with CA Basket.
I also agree with CA Basket.
Yeah.
I also agree, sir, with CA Basket.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this amendment was contemplated by the government itself. But then we were told by the law department that now that the new act had come into force, it is for the new council to pass the appropriate amendment. Otherwise, we would have taken steps to carry out the amendment, considering the number of recent representations that we had received. Government has taken legal opinion on the legality, and according to that, it is within the competence of the council to pass this rule. Government is not proposing this amendment with a view to reducing the standard. Every person is liable to make a mistake, and because of the mistake of somebody, the student should not suffer unreasonably. The right to re-examine or revalue the paper is being asked not necessarily to reduce the standard. If, as a result of the re-examination, it is found that a man has failed, then he is a failure, and nothing further needs to be done. But such a right has also been conceded by the universities, and I do not see any reason why the institute should not follow suit.
Yes.
The council may consider the matter in the light of these explanations and give the candidates an opportunity of having their papers revalued without in any way affecting the standard of the examination. Of course, I agree with CA Basket that the standard of the profession should be maintained very high.
Besides, sir, there can be a great difference between the judgment of one man and another. So I think the provision proposed
is of utmost importance and very necessary.
Absolutely.
So I think do we have agreement on this point?
Yes.
Okay, well, I think the consensus appears to be that the amendment may be made subject to the modification that the time limit should be reduced to 1 month from the date of the of the meeting. The accountancy societies and the recognized institutions will be informed of this provision. Also, the proposal for deleting the existing rule should be brought up at the next meeting of the council, as a majority of the members are opposed to it.
Okay.
Now, let me go to item number 10, which is election to the standing committees.
Claim of Madras in the matter of representation on committees should be considered. President has been elected from Bombay, Vice President from Bengal. Madras is sufficiently large region with a number of sufficient practitioners. Therefore, Madras should be given representation, at least one member on each committee.
Yes. No, I don't agree.
Regional consideration should not influence members in selecting the best men to the various committees.
Well said. Yes. Well said.
Gentlemen, elections to the council are held on regional basis, and regions are established by. Having said that, there is no meaning in packing the committees with representative of one region to the exclusion of other constituencies which may remain unrepresented.
I totally agree with my friends. We should not pack the committees with representatives from one constituency only.
Correct.
Chairman, if the council has to proceed in a level-headed manner to the benefit of the profession, then we should elect to our subcommittees the most competent and the most efficient people to be on the subcommittees, to the qualification of one another and to the experience of one another. This only should be the determining factor.
Perfectly stated.
Yeah, while it is not desirable to lay down such a convention by a sort of a formal resolution of the council, we should take care of the matter mentioned therein in the actual formation of the committees.
Mr. President, I agree with CA Badgate. Gentlemen, it may well happen that two members of the same constituency, maybe by reason of circumstances, are best fitted to sit on the committee, while others may not have the necessary time or the expert knowledge. I therefore suggest it should be left to the good sense of the electors to follow the suggestion made by C.A. Krishnaswamy.
Thank you.
Right, gentlemen. Let us now discuss amongst ourselves to see who should be elected to the standing committees.
Very good.
Well, let me now announce the names of members elected to the various standing committees. Thank you, gentlemen, for the slips. Executive Committee, C.A. S. Suryanarayan Iyer. C.A. P.R. Mehra. C.A. S.N. Banerjee.
Congratulations.
Disciplinary Committee, C.A. G.M. Basgate.
Excellent choice.
C.A. R.N. Rajam Iyer. C.A. S.D. Nargolwala, Government Nominee.
Very good.
Examination Committee, C.A. N.M. Shah. C.A. K.N. Gutgutia. And C.A. C.S. Sastri.
Shastri garu.
Congratulations, gentlemen. I am happy that all elections have been unanimous.
Correct.
Now, Mr. Srinivasan has prepared a note, and I wanted the opinion of the House as to whether the matters should be discussed by the President, by the Executive Committee, or by the Council as a whole. Mr. Srinivasan.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first item relates to the mode of payment to the Council. The government is not receiving any payments in cash. Therefore, the question before the Council is, should payments to the Council be made in cash, or should they only be made through checks and drafts?
Well, I think the consensus is that all payments should be made only by checks, drafts, or postal orders, and that too in favor of the Secretary of the Institute. No cash payment whatsoever should be received. The second note is on whether the Council should issue certificates of practice as fellows straight away.
Mr. President.
Yes, please.
The government has published a list of people who are eligible as they satisfied the conditions for admission as fellows, according to the information available with the government. It is very necessary to issue the checks within 1 month's time, else the time period allowed under the ordinance will lapse, and it will be very difficult to extend the period thereafter.
I think we have clear consensus on this point. Consensus appears to be the certificates of practice should be issued to all associates and fellows who are entitled to it based upon the records with the government. In cases of any doubt, the person concerned should be referred to the relevant portions of the Act, and they should be asked to obtain the approval of the Council to taking up other employment within a specified period. In cases where, according to present information, the member concerned is either in the full-time employment of another person or in the full-time employment of another firm and has no independent practice. In that situation, no certificate of practice will be issued to him. He should be informed that he should give up such employment or obtain the approval of the Council for the certificate of practice to be issued to him.
Mr. Kapadia, if during the hiatus it is found that someone is not entitled to a certificate, it is the articled clerk who will suffer.
Mr. President, if I may. Sir, provision has been made in the regulations to consider individual cases, so that in case an error has been made by the Council in a hurry, it can be rectified without the articled clerks being made to suffer.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. The third note is on approval of the budget estimates. Mr. Srinivasan.
Thank you, sir. So we prepared the estimates for the remainder of the financial year ending 31st March 1950 on the basis that there will be a separate secretary and a separate assistant secretary. You all have the agenda papers in your folders and the figures are there, but I shall repeat it for the benefit of the minutes. The figures for expenditure are salary and allowances rupees 46,500, TA rupees 20,000, postage rupees 3,000, stationery and printing rupees 6,000, rent 3,500, contingencies 6,000, provident fund etc. rupees 6,000, auditing rupees 1,000, examination expenses rupees 25,000, which then brings to a total of rupees 1,17,000. As against this expenditure, the receipts are estimated as follows. Fellowship and associates 1,08,000. Adding to that the fees already received 7,000, that makes a total of 1,15,000. New enrollment fees which are expected 15,000. Certificate of practice for associates 12,000. For fellows 40,800. Registration of articles 4,500. Examination fees 40,000. Recognition of institution fees 750. Sale of publications 350, and therefore a total of rupees 2,29,000. Now please note that the income of the subsequent years will not be as high as rupees 2,29,000 as the estimate of this year. So therefore the income for the next year may be put at about rupees 1,60,000, and the total annual expenditure will come to about rupees 1,80,000.
Gentlemen, the executive committee can be asked to go into the financial implications of the budget and report to the next council meeting. In the meantime, the estimates prepared by the government may be approved for the balance of the current financial year.
Correct. Very good. Agreed. Let us now discuss the telegraphic address for the Institute, installation of telephone, post box, and appointment of the solicitor or legal advisor. Now, we may have the registered address as CICA, which stands for Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants. And if this address is not available, we can go for an alternative address. We will give one telephone to the office of the Secretary with an extension to the President's room, and another telephone at the residence of the Secretary. In addition, we will also get a post box for the Council. Now, for the solicitor and or legal advisor, Mr. Srinivasan.
Mr. President, the government will try to take the help of the Ministry of Law of the Government of India to find a solicitor, failing which we can look at alternate solutions.
Agreed. Thank you. Now, let us have the next meeting of the Council in Delhi about the end of October next or in the first week of November, with the proviso that the various committees can also meet slightly before or immediately after the Council meeting to economize on travelling expenditure. I request Mr. Srinivasan to please draw up the tentative rules and procedures regarding these committees, and we can then dispatch them for comment to the members of the committees, and then we can take a look at them in the Council meeting and approve them. Okay. Moving on, can I have suggestions on the date of the next examination?
Sir, people in Madras find it very difficult to procure examination hall during the month of December, probably due to the music season. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we have a music season in December. In any case, I request the exams be held in the month of November.
Why not? Gentlemen, the months of January, February, March, and April are the worst months for the profession for it to devote its time to the examination. Right. These are the busiest months. I think that while the examination committee is fixing up the dates for the examination, it should keep this in mind.
Why not? Mr. President, will it be convenient to have the examinations in the month of November and December? May?
The
November and May.
examination committee in the future should fix a definite program. When a student starts his articles, he's entitled to know about the program of his examinations.
Yes.
At the moment, there is no uniformity of publication of results. If and when the examiners find time, they examine the papers and the results are published at a much later date. There is great uncertainty about the publication of results. If the examinations are held at the end of November, the results should be out by the second Monday of January. And if the examinations are held in May, the results should be out by the second Monday of July. Such a definite kind of program should be laid down.
We will hold the examinations in November, but the dates will be left to the examination committee to fix. And the examination committee will also look at the advisability of fixing a definite program of dates of results and examinations as suggested by CA Modi. Let us now take up agenda item number 4. CA Vesh, please.
Thank you. I propose a vote of thanks to the chair. Item 4, which should have been the first to draw the President's attention on his assuming the chair, has been altogether omitted. I do not know whether it's by accident or by design, but it's probably better to say that it's both by accident and by design. I congratulate the President very heartily on his election and compliment him in the manner in which he has conducted the proceedings during the last 2 days. The office which the President is now occupying is a great one. He is called upon by the entire Chartered Accountants fraternity of the nation to shoulder a huge responsibility. I assure the President of the utmost cooperation and willingness of the members of the council. It is true that we have got what we wanted, but it is now for us to prove that we deserve what we got.
Great. Well said. Well said. Bravo.
I request every member of the council to give his very best for the cause of this profession. As the Honorable Minister pointed out yesterday, the advancement of the country is dependent on the promotion of the industry and the economy, which in turn depends on the advancement of joint stock companies, and therein, in that advancement, runs our part of the business. We are not to be guided by petty considerations. We have to be guided by only one motto: what is best for the country?
Well said, bravo. Well said.
With this end in view, we should work for the future.
Well said.
I thank CA Vesh very much for the very kind remarks he's made. I have taken up the duty of President, knowing full well that I would get the cooperation of every single member of the Council. It will be my endeavor to work for the best interests of the profession and the Institute. The profession has certainly to prove that it deserves the autonomy. The function of the auditor is not merely to act as a tool in the hands of the person who has been responsible for his appointment, but he has to discharge his duties in a proper manner. The other aspect is the relations between the Income Tax Department and our profession. As you well know, this is characterized by differences and antagonism. Now, I really cannot understand why this situation should exist at all. There should be the fullest cooperation between the department on one hand and the profession on the other. A position should be achieved where the department itself comes to the realization that they have to trust only the profession and no one else. When we are able to create that position, gentlemen, then we will have demonstrated to the government and to the entire country that we deserve the autonomy in the fullest measure. Another thing is that without the fullest and willing cooperation of all of you, I have little chance of delivering the onerous duties that have fallen upon my shoulders. I am delighted to find that in the last 2 days of our meeting, the cooperation given to me in the conduct of the proceedings has been wonderful, and the views have been expressed by everyone in a free and happy manner. I wish that the same atmosphere should continue, and that every member of the council should work in the best interests of the profession. Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for all the actors, please? Let me quickly introduce each of the characters. So, can we request all the actors, Amitabh ji,
what's your message to all the young Virat Kohlis watching this and young Jemima Rodriguez watching this who will take the country further?
You know, I'm so glad you used the second name. I think when I watch the women's league, it's like watching a new emerging kind of activity.
You know, Vikings would always invade with the women as well.
Okay, all right.
We need to be Vikings now.
You notice I'm not disputing it. So,
why are you doing this podcast?
You know, I'm doing this podcast, one, because I like you. Huh?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Jaishankar, the Minister of External Affairs on TRS. Possibly the most requested episode we've had in the longest time because we've done so much geopolitical content and this legend has come up so much on the show that we just had to bring him on TRS. Keep in mind, this is a very short episode. There was a time constraint because of schedules on that particular day. So I couldn't podcast exactly the way I wanted to with Dr. Jaishankar, but it's a beginning. You're going to see an incredible episode of TRS up ahead. Special thanks to MyGov India for making this happen. This is my mid-20s dream to talk to this man, considering how much he's done for the country, considering how he's rewritten the country's branding on a global stage. This was a great icebreaker with the legend. As I said earlier, I was a little nervous to speak to the cabinet ministers, but Dr. Jaishankar made me feel extremely comfortable. That's his actual real life vibe if you're a young, motivated Indian. And that's what this particular episode 1 with Dr. Jaishankar was about. It was about the young, the new, and the motivated India. I hope you enjoy this particular episode. I hope every single young Indian watches this episode because, to be honest, jokes apart, we're living through some intense times and we need to turn to people like Dr. Jaishankar for guidance about the future. So, I'm going to let you slip into the episode. It is a slightly shorter episode. We will come back with a much longer one with Dr. Jaishankar. But for now, enjoy this legendary piece of TRS.
Startups are the future of India. They will create millions of new jobs in the next decade. Welcome to our Bangalore campus. Our state-of-the-art classroom ensures a very collaborative peer-to-peer case study-based learning for you. At MESA, students build real businesses. Every student at MESA gets individually mentored by a startup leader. With 500 plus startups in a 5-kilometer radius, this was the best place that we thought about to give our students an immersive experience. We have more than 200 hours of career prep. If you want to be a startup leader, then this is the exact place that you should be in. Come and experience the MESA campus.
Dr. Jaishankar, the most requested podcast possibly that we ever had. How are you and why do you think that is?
Oh, I'm good. Been a busy few weeks. But I would say probably people are more interested in foreign policy.
Nowadays.
And maybe they'll come to watch you. You know. So...
I mean, geopolitics is one of those subjects that people have been lapping up only recently, but lapping it up heavily. And you're the poster boy for everything that's happening correct geopolitically for India.
Okay, that's good to know. But you know, in a way, it's natural. Look, what do we do most of the time? You get up in the morning.
Bye.